We're here from the Hallé Orchestra to do the Adopt a Player project. We're very fortunate this time to be working with some students from Manchester University. So I have Zoe, who plays a trumpet, working alongside me.
We started off by coming into the school and doing a couple of workshops, introducing our instruments to the kids, telling them what the Hallé is, explaining what an orchestra is. They've done an amazing job putting together performances around the third and fourth movements.
We start as a group, work on the big group stuff, and then we split up into 2 or 3 groups, go into separate rooms.
In this particular project, we've had the thrill and the delight to be working with children at Abraham Moss, and that is the community school with the primary and secondary children. Children come to concerts at the Bridgewater Hall. They adopt musicians from the Hallé. The musicians go back to work with the children to help them create their own version of the music they heard the orchestra play at the Bridgewater Hall.
I'm so excited to see the musicians play and what instruments they're playing. It's so magnificent that how they can play so good.
I'm very excited to see a range of different music and musicians. We've been learning about trombones and trumpets. What's the difference between them? And trombones have like you do that, and trumpets you have some button things that we play with.
Nowadays everyone listens to like rap and like pop music, so it's really nice to experience like classical music and things like that.
Hopefully Miss has booked us ice creams.
I'm very excited, very.
I think when the lady came, she showed us a really good impression of the violin and all the other things.
I thought it was just be a regular like a piece of music, but it was much more than what I expected, and I really enjoyed it.
I feel mesmerised and excited.
It was really inspiring as well. It's made me kind of feel like I want to be a musician. It was a good experience and I'd like to do it again.
The concert was amazing and the kids absolutely loved it, which was really encouraging to see. And then off the back of having watched the concert, that then gave the kids ideas as to how they could recreate the piece and make it their own.
I have done quite a lot of Adopt a Player projects before, and this school's unusual in the fact that it's got amazing resources. I mean, the building itself, there's plenty of space, practice rooms for the children to go off and work in their groups. But there's so many members of staff helping, and also the media department's amazing. I've never experienced anything like it.
We're working on creating music with them, with Christine, who's in the Hallé. To set the scene, we're creating whistling through the trees, the idea of the wind in the background. So we've got one group that are whistling, one group that are shuffling the floor, one group that are shuffling their knees to get lots of different layers of sound. So we've got lots of different percussion instruments. We've got a mixture of pitched, which sound a specific note, and unpitched.
So these pieces that are created by the children are then performed at a culmination at the primary school here today, and we perform to parents and other interested parties. And the musical process is presented with interludes played by the Hallé players, taken directly from the symphony. So the way that it's worked, we had a little interlude, an overture if you like to start with, which used the first and second movements of the piece, and that was played by 4 of our musicians. That then went straight into the primary project. The primary project was then performed, and following that, another interlude then led into the secondary school project, and that finished the performance. So if you like, what we've heard today is the Abraham Moss's version of Sibelius' First Symphony.